Joining us here in the Pirate Radio studios, assistant ECU baseball coach Jeff Palumbo to talk some Pirate baseball 1 month out from that. Bryce Williams joining us as well in the Pirate Radio studios. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Good. Doing good.
Good to see you, Bryce. Coach, welcome in.
Doing great. Appreciate having me on.
Ugly day. What kind of work can you get in on a day like today, Coach?
Not a baseball day, but a beautiful thing. We got those nice indoor facilities now, so we're able to get some work in. And actually today was a scheduled off day, so some of the guys did a bunch of stuff on their own and got their work in, got a good lift. So a lot of indoor time today.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with the guys, and I think started last Friday, getting back at it. School started on Monday, so is it full steam ahead right now? Is it all systems go for you guys?
Yeah, we're rolling right now. We're in that phase where we can't be out there as a full team, full unit, in our 20-hour week. That hasn't come around yet. That'll pick up on the 26th of January. Okay. But guys are in there. We're getting our work. We got a limited amount of time with them, so we're working in more of a groups, right? I got the infielders, and Henry's got the hitters, and AK's got those pitchers rolling, and so we're kind of in our groups getting their work in, but they're doing a great job.
You and Bryce were talking a little pitching earlier. We'll talk to ECU pitching coach Austin Knight coming up on Thursday as far as getting ramped up for the season. How about for the position players? You don't just get out there and go 100 miles an hour. You got to have some ramp up time for them guys too. So what are those guys doing? We know about the pitchers warming up and getting ready for the season. How about the position players?
Yeah, I mean, really, they tailor it back a little bit after our fall season, right? So they get a couple weeks to kind of get away, put the bats up a little bit. Not long, right? It's about 10 days or so, and then they'll start getting in and getting some work back in on their own. So they've really been going since about the second week of December, right after exams kind of finish up. We give them a good plan. The hard part about our sport is they go away, they go home, right? So it's a month before we get going. They're going home for about 2.5, 3 weeks. So, but we have a great group of guys, and that's where that culture takes over, and we give them a really good game plan of baseball workouts, strength and conditioning that Coach Wilson gives them. So they're rolling at home and checking in, and the older guys are checking in on the younger guys, and they came back in a really, really good spot. So really excited about where they're at right now, and like you said, we're not rolling out there and going right into playing. We're kind of building up their legs, but they're in a really good spot. I mean, if we really needed to go out and play tomorrow in an inter squad, I don't think we'd be too far off. We're not there yet. We don't need to do that. We won't do that till really the last weekend in January, but they're excited. Really, as a coach, really excited about where we're at this time of year.
Jeff Palumbo joining us. If you got a question, you can get it in on Facebook, YouTube, or X. And Coach, as I look at this staff, I love the continuity, obviously, with Coach Godwin, Coach Palumbo, Coach Knight returning. But is this the deepest staff? Is this the most coaches you've had on the staff? Because you had the hitting coach with Henry Lartigue. Love to see the name Bryant Packard as a student manager. That's what he's listed at anyways. But a lot of guys, is this the most that's ever been on the staff?
Yeah, the office is full, man. We need that expansion so we can get some extra offices rolling in there. But yeah, Pack's a solid addition as the student assistant, and he's done a great job, man. Just a awesome person and just a fun personality to have in the office. So it's it's a lot of young guys, man. I used to be the young guy. Now it's now we got young guys all over the place, which is makes for a lot of fun. But really good group of guys.
Great to have Pack around full time, and great to have Alec Burleson around for a little bit. Gavin Williams, those guys. What's it like seeing the former Pirates come in, even if they're just kind of there to observe? But when you get them talking to the guys, that's got to fire up the current players.
Yeah, it's just really cool. We've been here now, with Coach Godwin, been here now a decade, and it's just really neat to see those guys, man, that you recruit, come in, they're a part of the program, have such an impact on the program, and just get really through the entirety of their careers here with us, and to see them go out and come back, right, and give back to those guys, and having a bunch of professional baseball players around, and just having that mindset, right, of how they're working, how they're going about it, rubbing off on the guys that are here, and just seeing that culture continue to filter down. It's really cool. I mean, Josh Groves has been all over the place here, and Moylan's back. He's swinging it. Spivey was here all fall. I mean, just sitting down in the bullpen and just giving those guys knowledge, man, showing them, obviously his cutter really had a huge impact here, changed his career here with us, and just kind of pass it along those little pieces of wisdom to the guys has a huge plays a big role, man, for all of us.
Jeff Palumbo joining us. Bryce Williams here. Ryan on YouTube asking, Bryce, did you play any baseball?
The farthest I got was C-ball, which was like the machine.
Nice. Those machines are tough to hit, man.
Yeah. So after that, it kind of branched off to football, soccer, basketball. And
not a ton of 6'6" baseball players out there. Maybe some pitchers, but not a ton of. I know Richie Sexton. Remember him, first baseman?
Absolutely.
He was one of the tallest guys I can remember. I think you might have gotten a little too tall to play ball, Bryce.
Yeah, and I'm gonna admit I'm kind of scared of that baseball.
Yeah,
no lie.
Makes a lot of sense for a football player.
Yeah, right. You get crushed every play, and you're scared of the baseball.
We're padded up. You know?
That's
y'all
true.
have a helmet on, and everything else is exposed. So I like having some pads and face masks.
There you go, a little protection, right?
Yeah.
No question.
Coach, I want to jump around. Let's jump around the infield, the guys you're working with. So once again, as far as your duties go, you work with the infielders, correct?
That's correct.
Defense and everything,
Yep.
and so let's kind of go around the horn here, starting at first base. And you mentioned Josh Moylan, and loved having Josh in here to talk about what he could do defensively. Really improved in that area in his career. Now we're looking at Carter Cunningham, Cam Clonch, those guys over at first. Certainly can do it with the bat. What do you think about those guys defensively?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, that's a position, right? You look up and you're going to have a new face over there, and Josh did such a great job over the last 2-3 years over there for us, and as you mentioned, really evolved defensively, which was cool to see. And but Carter is kind of making that transition a little bit from right field that he played for us every day last year and getting in the infield, and he's just a baseball player, high IQ guy, and a guy we felt like sliding over there. Played a little bit of it in junior college, and just kind of wanted to see throughout the fall. And I think he was a little bit hesitant just because he had gotten so comfortable in right field initially. But I told him, I said, hey, man, I need you to embrace it and let's see, because I just really felt like good athlete. He could make that transition pretty easily and has done a really nice job. Cam Clonch has obviously been over there going into year 4 as well. So, a veteran over there, that experience. So in a good place. We kind of moved some guys around over there. Chaz Myers is taking some ground balls over there, as well as third base, and Colby Wallace is doing the same thing. So like a lot of the positions in the infield, we have some depth and a lot of great options, but those are the 4 that have been kind of working out over there on a daily basis.
At second, Jacob Starling looks like a guy that could have a pro future. What have you worked on with him this offseason?
Yeah, just trying to continue to be consistent. Star's made some huge strides defensively in his career here, and proud of the work that he's put in. He's obviously a great offensive player, tremendous athlete, but just kind of embracing that defensive position. And I think, kind of being behind Connor and Norby when he was here, kind of watching Connor continue to evolve defensively throughout his career. He knew that was an area, if he wanted to ultimately be the player that he wanted to be, he needed to continue to work as well. So the double play turn, continue to work on that with him, and I feel like Star can make every play there is. He's such a great player, and now just trying to continue to see how consistent we can get at executing.
Shaq at short, Joey Barini.
Joey's back at shortstop, man. Excited to have him back. Obviously had a little bit of an injury that he's bouncing back from, but he's getting in a good place with his health. And obviously we have Nate Chrisman as well that's returning, that's taking a lot of reps over there, and then Nick Parham, a freshman that we're really excited about his future as well. So those 3 have been taking reps over there at shortstop.
And of course Alec Makarevich transferring. Dixon Williams, is he the guy you're looking at third right now?
Yeah, Dixon's doing a great job over there. Really, I thought Dixon had a tremendous end of his fall season. Really came on, and a lot of times with these young guys, getting that, just having that year underneath them, and I'm sure that's any sport, right? Have the freshman year underneath you, and being able to, just know what the coaches are going to ask of you on a daily basis, know what drills come in next, know what makes coach happy, what doesn't make him happy, and able to navigate things a little bit more efficiently. And I thought it really showed up halfway through the fall this year, and Dixon made some huge jumps. So excited about what he's done at third base, and like I said, Chaz Myers, Colby Wallace have been over there working as well, and Parker Bird's getting some reps over there as well, continuing to figure things out for himself and doing an awesome job.
Any other infielders we didn't mention?
No, I got some freshmen, that are continuing to work, and Isaac Armstrong's, working behind Starling there at second base, so he's a freshman as well. So, like I said, these guys have come back in a really good spot, so excited to keep it rolling.
So if Parker, we talked about him at the plate some. If he gets in the field, he's over at third.
That's where he's been taking reps.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's still really he's a high IQ kid, man. So just trying to figure out where he feels best right now, but that's where he feels most comfortable.
Nice. And Jeff, I say this a lot. The pregame is just something to witness. You guys do it so pure, 100% every time. Are there ever screw ups behind the scenes on that? Like, do you guys practice your infield and stuff pregame?
We do. We do. We practice it, right? It's something we do. I was telling Bryce beforehand. We every Friday, Saturday, Sunday throughout the preseason, we'll inter squad, and we really try to make it like a game day. So we're getting those reps in every Friday and Sunday. Usually we'll roll with the pregame infield, outfield. So
yeah.
They're getting it half dozen times or so. We'll get us some more practice. So it's really actually just a good practice segment to continue to get the guys moving and talking, communicating, and as you see, the pace is pretty good, so it gets the guys ready to roll.
You are a ground ball hitting robot. I talked to Mully, and I think he said out at Conley they now have a machine that'll do it, and that takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
right?
It does. We'll do it. We'll do it a little bit in practice. We'll use the machines, and that's more out of repetition, right? We have all those infielders we just talked about. You try to make sure that they're getting their work in. So we'll roll with the machines. But no, I'm with you. I love to hit the fungo.
That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember the name of the funny bat.
That's it.
It was the fungo.
There you go.
How long did it take you to be a fungo expert, Coach?
Oh,
I
don't know if I'm expert, but it's pretty quick. To be quite honest with you, it's one of those things you can get better at it, but you're either pretty good at it, or you see some guys you pick that thing up. And we're actually just talking in the office yesterday about how we use the machines. It used to be all pitchers, right? The pitchers during practice would hit the fungos of the infielders because, hey man, as a pitcher, you want those guys being able to field your ground balls, right? And so you're trying to, but now we've gone to more machines because those pitchers aren't quite as efficient at it as you may like them to be.
I was always impressed as a kid if the coach could hit the pop up to the catcher rather than throw it up.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the one, man. You can really finish with that one. I don't hit it here. In all honesty, the biggest reason I don't hit it here is because you miss it, and we're fortunate we got the net here. But you go to some places on the road, and the fans aren't really paying attention. Right, all of a sudden you hit somebody on the top of the head. That's not really a good way to start things out.
Coach, can you hang out another segment with us?
Absolutely.
All right, we're talking some Pirate baseball with Jeff Palumbo, Bryce Williams hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios. And Coach, a couple of questions from YouTube. I'll ask the question. Don't know if we'll get a good answer. Does Coach ever butt heads with Cliff on anything? Different philosophies come into play. What's that relationship been like with you guys?
Not one time in a whole decade.
Wow.
No.
How about that? How about that?
No, we it's I think when you're a part of a coaching staff, you're always going to have different opinions. I think even as a head coach, you probably should want that out of your assistant coaches, and as assistant coach, you should have your own opinions. Now, obviously, there's always the boss, right? And so it's I think a relationship where you get a chance to talk through some things and work through it and work through different opinions and different things regarding the team or recruiting or whatever it may be. But ultimately, you walk out of the discussion and want to be on the same page, right? And I think that comes across to the team or in recruiting or however it goes. But obviously we've been together, a decade now, and it's been a heck of a run, a lot of fun.
So I know Cliff's glad to have you here. Pirate fans certainly are, because every year your name comes up as a candidate, and I'm going to assume you've had opportunities to go elsewhere. But how about your decision to remain here as an assistant here at East Carolina?
Yeah, I think, like I said, we've been here now a decade, and I just really appreciate, again, being at a place that how much they put into baseball, and how much they support us and the fan base, and all of those things go into it. There's, as I've said before, there's a ton of layers to those things, and I'm just really appreciative of Coach Godwin giving me the opportunity and us continuing to build the program, from day day one and feel like it's in an awesome place. And, we have not obviously achieved the ultimate goal of winning, going to Omaha and winning a national championship, but feel like we're in a great spot to continue to grow and continue to get better and really feel like if we continue to put ourselves in the position that we've been doing, it's going to happen. And I'm just thankful to be a part of it. And yes, there's been opportunities, but just from a personal standpoint, a professional standpoint, my family, we're in a great spot here, and we love being Pirates.
Talking to Jeff Palumbo inside the Pirate Radio studios, and ECU football going through a rough season. They're trying to get out of that, turn it around. East Carolina baseball has been a machine winning games, but you don't just roll the ball out there and get wins. So how do you stay motivated every year, Coach? One of the things has got to be new players rolling in, so they're hungry, they're ready to win, but can't rest on your laurels, right? So how do you keep that carrot at the end of the stick and get better and better?
Yeah, I think every person's different. I think every person's different. I mean, for me, we haven't, we set a goal when we got here and we haven't achieve that, right? So I think that is motivation in and of itself. And I think we've had a couple season-ending scenarios that were tough, right? 16 at Texas Tech happened pretty quick. We got into a really good spot quickly in our time here, and came up, could taste it, those things are motivating. It's I don't know how everybody looks at it, but to me, at the end of every year, it's like, okay, well, how do we improve? How do we get better? How do we take the next step? And again, bouncing those ideas as a coaching staff off of each other. And, to your point, you're out recruiting and it's a new group. So you're trying to figure out how are these pieces going to come together to, continue to put us in that spot. And you continue to develop your culture. And I think you guys have come to find out that obviously Coach Godwin does a tremendous job with our culture and the guys, that's, again, having those guys come back into our facility and continuing to pass those things down and being able to tell stories, right, about those guys maybe not having success or battling adversity, but ultimately getting this program where it is and personally excelling as well. So being able to pass those on to the younger guys and the new guys, I mean, all of those things have a huge impact. And you year in and year out just want to continue to grow and get better, and hopefully we'll knock down that door to Omaha.
Yeah, ECU baseball is the definition of a winning culture, and you do that, cultivating, getting young guys in and coaching them up to when they're juniors and seniors, but also the transfer portal is out there. Those guys are out there. So what are those conversations like with you and Coach Godwin and the staff bringing in guys from the portal, because you don't want to miss out on talent if it's available? So how do you balance that?
For sure. I mean, I think you always balance it out with your needs, right? What are the needs? And it used to be, right, you're going to go the JUCO route. If you want to get older, you're going to go to the JC route and start out in the fall and kind of predict out what needs you have. I mean, our sport's a little bit different because you have that draft that's sitting out there and it's not as cut and dry, right? Our guys don't necessarily have to say, hey, I'm going to the draft. It's up in the air, right, up until late, middle of the summertime. So you're trying to figure out, are these guys going to be taken? Are they not going to be taken? Are they signed, not signed, right? So you're trying to put all these things together. So it's not an easy thing to navigate, but, at the end of the day, it's trying to figure out with our needs what's going to be the best position. Is it a junior college player? Is it another young player coming in as a freshman? Or is it the transfer portal? And, for us, if it's going to be the transfer portal, they're going to have to fit, kind of our things that we want to bring into the program. And that's, quality people. Obviously, being a great player is going to start the process, but they're quality people and they're committed to their academics. And doesn't mean they have to be perfect students, but that they could come in and buy into what we do and how we do it and take pride in what they're doing academically and get a great degree.
Jamie on YouTube asking a question he never got to ask. What was Coach P's thoughts when he saw Bryson Worrell being walked to first base in 2022? Had never seen that before. Became a national story. I guess he's talking about when the umpire pushed him along, I believe. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I was watching the ball, so I never saw. I mean, in all honesty, a lot of times, I might, when the game gets done and you've finished things up and you get home and grab your phone, you get on social media, you start to come across things. You're like, I was at that game. I had no idea that even transpired. So so that happens all the time, and that was one of those because I turn and I'm watching the ball, and at that point, that ball's out, and it's, I don't know. For me, it got turned into something. I don't think it's that huge of a thing. That umpire's just trying to make sure that nothing happens after the fact, right? He's trying to avoid guys throwing at guys later on, and trying to, in all honesty, protect the players. Not ideal, but maybe not an ideal way to do it, but that's what he was going for.
Another odd viral moment was in the conference tournament when Josh Groves fed a teammate a sandwich and was ejected. What was your take on Sandwich Gate?
I can't believe this happened. Number one, what's going on, right? And so I'm on the other side of the field, and I've known the South Florida assistant for a while. He's a junior college coach, great guy, and so he's over there, and we got a good relationship. So we're playing them. I'll be talking to him, and so the game stops, right? And the umpires are over there, and you're trying to figure out what is going on right now. And he's looking at me. He's like, "What's happening?" I'm like, "I think they just threw one of our guys out," and just trying to figure out who it was, quite honestly, and just again can't. I mean, I've been on a lot of baseball fields in my lifetime. I've never seen that. So again, you never know what you're gonna see when you show up at the yard.
Can't use a prop, and apparently a sandwich is a prop.
That's
there you go.
I guess so.
Jeff Palumbo joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce, any baseball questions for Coach Palumbo?
I'm gonna keep pondering.
How about this? Did you ever play football growing up, Coach?
Never played football. Basketball, a little bit of soccer when I was young, but love hoops. So never football. Mom always wanted to protect us.
there you go. How about the schedule this year? Once again, sets up. You look at the preseason polls, and you've got, I think, like 7 teams from the Carolinas, 5 from the state of North Carolina, and you'll see, I think, every one of those teams other than Wake Forest on your schedule. So you like the way it sets up again for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to play great teams, and we're very fortunate. We don't have to travel real far to do it. And I've said, recruited down in Florida, recruited in Virginia's and in North Carolina, but this area here, the North Carolina area, is just such, so many great programs, so many great coaching staffs, so many great players. And it just makes it a lot. It makes it a lot of fun. Obviously, it's challenging. It's challenging because obviously, when it comes down to regional time hosting, right? I mean, they don't ideally want to give out too many in a too close of an area. So it's good. We get a chance to square off and play a lot of those clubs. So when it comes down to it, right, we got a chance to settle it on the field. And, I think that's the beautiful part about where we are geographically and where you are with all these teams. I'm sure, in the college football world, there was a lot of talk. I think they would have liked to have settled it on the field with some of those teams they were picking to who was going to get in that Final Four. So we're fortunate we're going to get a chance to go play a lot of great teams.
Tyler says, how about the Elon game last year? Who was going to help coach if you and Godwin got tossed from the game? Now, I know Cliff has been ejected here and there. Have you haven't been ejected from a game here, have you?
I have not been ejected.
Yeah.
No, I've not been ejected. We get a little bit more. We have to sit out a few more games, I think, than Coach Godwin. So there's a little bit more of a penalty to it as an assistant, I believe. So yeah, try to stay in the game. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. He's got to protect our guys a little bit more, right? A little bit different situation, which is normally when he's going through that process of getting thrown out, it's to back our guys and protect our guys, and I know he'll do it if it calls for that. And so try to stay in the baseball game and make it as easy as possible to get the W.
Another unique one was Josh Moylan getting tossed from a game that had already ended.
Yeah, we actually just talked. That came up in a team meeting. This the other day, and that one happened quick. It went from we got a chance to win this baseball game to a questionable call from the umpire, and those guys getting chucked out and having to sit out a couple games. So yeah, it went south pretty quick there for the Pirates.
Josh learned his lesson, said he would never draw a line in the dirt again, but that's what happened.
Hey, that's it.
Heat of the moment.
That's right. Hey, maturing. Right?
Brandon Manning, we just brought your name up during the break, Brandon. We were talking about who could throw better BP, you or Mully. Brandon said, more household excitement for Greenville Little League or ECU this spring?
Well, it's funny. We had a half day of school today, thanks to the weather outside. So we scooped the kids up, and I had to scoop them up and rearrange the schedules. And my son's team is he's on the Coke team, so he's got red everywhere, right? He's got red everywhere, and we're getting ready to go up to them. I'm taking him to the facility to go get some swings, and my wife looks at him and says, "You can't wear that there." And,
that's true.
It's Coke. It's good. So a lot of excitement. Obviously, Greenville Little League is incredible. incredible and super fortunate, and they do an incredible job with that league, and he's excited to be a part of it, no doubt.
I always thought it was cool after a win or a tough loss, you would be out there throwing some BP to your kid after the game. And I've seen him. He's 10 years old now. Gosh.
Got 10, 7, and 5, so we're rolling.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
About to put together a whole infield.
That's it. That's their favorite time, man. They love Pirate baseball, but they really love that time on that field. So it's cool. A lot of fun.
Looking forward to it. Jeff Palumbo joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Final thoughts, Coach. What do you want to see when you guys finally get going here in late January? What do you want to see from this team and accomplish before you get on the field for the real games in February?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm really excited about this group, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it, but super mature, great leadership, and in all honesty, where they're at right now makes you proud as a coach, and really, really excited to fire it up and get going. So we want them to continue to bring that every day, and Coach continue to focus on that. We talk about it, right, getting 1% better every day, and if this group does that, it's going to be a lot of fun at Clark LeClaire. So we'll continue to push them in that way.
Coach, thanks for hanging out with us. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I think the 49ers are the best team right now.
They look good. And have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
I have not heard that segment. I will. I have not, and don't plan to do.
Yeah, Bryce, you ever been in a hot air balloon?
I actually have been in a hot air balloon.
Have you?
Yeah, in Arizona, and I think it was like an anniversary or something when I was out there. And I will say, if you ever go in a hot air balloon, stand under like the shield. Don't like stand off to the side where you're not got anything over your head, because I tell you what, it gets real hot.
The flame.
And I mean,
and the good
news
is, that's working.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, stand under like the shield. At least ours had one, because people who were not, they were not comfortable.
So what did you think of the experience? Would you recommend it?
I mean, it's very neat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was cool.
Man.
Yeah, the basket was big. It's more people than you think.
Yeah.
Do you have any food, drinks up there? Anything going on?
Maybe you could bring a water or something.
Okay,
But it's pretty cool.
All right.
I'm gonna need some drinks if I'm up in that thing.
No doubt. Coach, enjoyed it. We'll see you at Media Day.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me on.